I still remember the exact moment my world shattered in front of everyone I loved. The engagement hall was glowing with soft golden lights, fairy lights twinkling like stars against the white drapes. I was wearing the champagne-colored dress he said made me look like a dream. My hands were trembling as I held the microphone, ready to thank everyone for coming to celebrate our love. His name was Captain Ethan Reed, Navy SEAL, the man who had promised me forever. The man whose quiet strength had made me feel safe for the first time in my life. We had been together for 4 years. 4 beautiful, intense, passionate years. He was my hero, my protector, my future. But that night, everything changed. We had just finished cutting the cake. Laughter filled the room. My mother was already crying happy tears. His SEAL brothers stood tall in their dress uniforms, looking proud. I raised my glass to make a toast when suddenly Ethan's phone vibrated on the table. His face changed in an instant. That calm, loving expression I adored vanished. He stood up so fast his chair scraped loudly against the floor. Every eye in the room turned to him. Without a word, he straightened his back, brought his hand up sharply, and saluted. Not to me, not to all love. He saluted the phone. I have to go, he said, voice cold and military sharp. Right now. The entire hall went silent. I stood there frozen, my glass still raised, my smile cracking like thin ice. He didn't even look at me. He just turned and walked out, leaving me standing alone on the stage like a discarded bride. Whispers started immediately. Poor girl. She couldn't even keep a SEAL interested for one night. What a failure. He literally saluted and left her. My cheeks burned with humiliation. My best friend tried to hug me, but I couldn't feel anything except the crushing weight of shame. They called me a failure that night. They said I was stupid for loving a man whose country always came first. But what they didn't know was that this was only the beginning of my pain. You were gone, baby. Can't wait to see you again. Ethan, same. The engagement thing was rough but necessary. She still doesn't suspect anything. Kay, you really saluted and walked out on your own engagement. That's cold even for you, LOL. Ethan had to sell it. She's too emotional. I need more time to figure out how to end it cleanly. My knees gave out. I slid down to the kitchen floor, phone still in my trembling hands. The man I had defended to everyone, the man I had built my entire future around, had been cheating on me for over a year. The saluting and dramatic exit wasn't duty. It was his escape plan. He had used his SEAL status as a shield. Every time I felt neglected, he would say, "This is the life of a SEAL's wife. If you can't handle it, maybe we're not meant to be." And I believed him. I called myself weak for wanting more. The betrayal cut deeper than anything I had ever felt. My heart didn't just break, it was destroyed. I cried so hard that night I couldn't breathe. I looked at our engagement photos and screamed until my throat was raw. But in the middle of that darkness, something inside me shifted. The pain turned into something cold, something sharp. I was done being the naive, emotional girl they all pitied. I was done being called a failure, ending revenge, climax, and moral. I didn't confront him right away. I played the part. For 2 weeks I smiled, cooked his favorite meals, and acted like the supportive fiancé he thought I was. Meanwhile, I gathered every piece of evidence, screenshots, voice recordings, bank statements showing secret trips and expensive gifts for her. I even reached out to Kay, a fellow officer's wife, and got her full confession. The night I struck, we were supposed to have a quiet dinner to reconnect. His SEAL brothers were coming over later to celebrate his latest promotion. Perfect. I waited until we were both seated at the table. Then I played the recording. His own voice filled the room. She still doesn't suspect anything. Ethan froze. The color drained from his face. I stood up slowly, just like he had that night at our engagement. My voice was calm, but every word carried the weight of my shattered heart. You saluted and walked out on me like I was nothing. You used your uniform as a weapon to humiliate me in front of everyone I love. You called me emotional. You called me weak. But the only failure here is you." His brothers arrived just in time to hear everything. I had made sure of it. The look on their faces when they realized their brother had betrayed not just me, but the values they all stood for: honor, integrity, courage, was priceless. Ethan tried to beg. He tried to explain. But it was too late. Within weeks, the story spread through the tight-knit SEAL community. His reputation was ruined. The promotion he cared about more than me. Denied the woman he left me for. She left him to when she realized he was capable of the same betrayal. I didn't need to destroy him. I just stopped protecting his lies. Today, I stand taller than I ever did. I started my own business teaching women how to rebuild after betrayal. I travel. I laugh again. I am no longer the girl who was left standing with a glass in her hand while her fiancé saluted and walked away. I am the woman who rose. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Never let someone make you feel like a failure for loving them. Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't screaming or fighting. It's healing so beautifully that they have to watch you shine from the darkness they created. And when you finally heal, you don't need their apology. You only need yourself.